When you look at this young man, I want you to take a deep look at this picture. Look at his eyes. Can you see the pain? Can you see the anguish? Can you see the embarrassment? Can you see the humiliation? Can you see it in his eyes? Can you capture the emotions in his expression? Many things are going through his mind right now. He feels like a failure because he didn't amount to anything other than a hawker. He's been to school. He's embarrassed that his classmates may see him in this way. But at the same time, you can see that he wants people to see what's happening to him, which is why he's posing for this picture. He's hoping that someone somewhere may see this picture and help him out of his situation. And he doesn't understand why he's in this situation. He doesn't understand what he did wrong. You can see his thoughts. What did I do wrong to end up in this situation? That I'm hawking all this cheap junk coming from China. That he has to do this to survive. You can see the desperation in his eyes. And mostly you can see the pain, the disappointment that he has for himself. You can also see the inferiority complex. You can see all of these things in his eyes. And many men in Kenya are desperately poor. They have nothing, no career and no hope. And they can't understand what happened. Why am I in this situation? They're all looking for work. And he's more enterprising because at least, this is a mini business, a desperate business, a painful business of everyday rejection. Can you imagine how many times you dismiss hawkers? You don't even look at them twice. You show them nothing but absolute contempt, and you rarely buy from them because you accuse them of overcharging for that object that he's selling, yet he's trying to survive. And what you're seeing on his hand is his entire stock. How much money do you think he can make if he was to sell all of those things at once? It won't be much money. That's the entire stock that he has. And most likely it's borrowed stock. It could be that it's borrowed from those shops that supply these sort of trinkets. Like these things are sometimes given out on loan. So it may be that he doesn't even own this stock that he has to run around and try and sell. And he's a grown man. And he has been reduced to running behind cars, begging people to buy this stuff. And he's not alone. There's thousands of them all over Nairobi, all over Kenya. In fact, as you walk anywhere in Kenya, any town, you'll see the vast numbers of the underemployed. People who are peddling things on the street in the hot sun. The same line of products repeated 1,000 times, chasing the same consumer. And all of them are in pain and anguish. They have no retirement plans. They have no pension. They have no adequate health insurance cover. They can barely afford to pay school fees for their children, can barely afford to pay rent, so all of them live in slums. And this is the daily experience of millions of people. And like this young man is wondering, what did I do wrong to end up in this situation? And what is ironical is that, and it's painful, he doesn't seem to realize that he is in that situation precisely because of the objects that he has in his hands. That's why he's in that situation. He's peddling objects made in a different country, made by a worker who has a stable income, working in an air-conditioned factory. So while he's selling these products, he's creating employment, most likely for a Chinese worker, who will then come to Kenya with his capital and open up a business and call him a monkey. Isn't that painful? And what I find surprising is that despite millions of people going through this hell, somehow they're never able to make the connection between selling imported manufactured products and their own poverty. You are a hawker because the country doesn't have factories. The country doesn't produce anything other than babies. That's why you're a hawker. Yet the country consumes a lot of manufactured products, but doesn't have the means to produce those products. That's why you are a hawker. If those factories making those objects that you're hawking was right here in Kenya, you could get a job in that factory. A more stable job, a reliable income, not a lot of income, but reliable. You can plan out some things in your life with a reliable income. But the factories are not in Kenya. The factories are in China, most likely. So why are the factories in China? Well, because the people of Kenya refuse to build any factories. You cannot convince the poor people of Kenya to buy products made in Kenya. It is these same poor people and also middle class people, basically everyone, who will buy a shoe from China and refuse to buy a shoe from the local shoemaker who's also living in the slum with them. And they don't see the association between their purchasing choices and their poverty. If everyone in the slum bought shoes from the shoemaker who lives in that slum, well, he'll employ 10 more people and eventually get out of the slum. But they won't do it. They'll buy the shoes from China, and all of them will end up becoming hawkers, selling Chinese cheap junk, basically. It's the sort of thing that can be made locally very easily. And this is the supreme irony of the extreme poverty in Kenya. And poverty in Kenya is extreme. Let's not kid ourselves. I had reports where they were saying that Kenya is now a middle income country. And I'm like, whoever did that report must have been drunk, because I'm not sure where they get these numbers from. All you have to do is just, go to the slums, see the extent of poverty. It's not just poverty, it is poverty to a depraved level. So whoever did that report, they must have been drunk, because I don't know where they get these figures from. All you have to do is to walk in a slum and you'll see the desperate levels of poverty. And it's not just poverty, it is the extent to which people are poor. It is obscene. Yet all these millions of people are not able to make the connection between buying cheap Chinese junk and their own poverty. So to this young man, it is so sad that so many lives have been wasted, so much potential thrown away in this poverty economy. And what sustains the poverty economy is the attitude and mentality of the people themselves. That if you tell this same young man, buy local, build up the economy, he will refuse. When you look at his purchasing choices, and I'd love to do a study about that, just study the purchasing choices of people of all social classes. Look at how much of their income goes to foreign produced products and how much of their income goes to locally produced products. How much of their income is ending up outside Kenya and how much of their income is ending up inside Kenya. And you will see probably 95% of their income ends up outside Kenya. And as you very well know, you can never grow rich as a community, as a country, if your own money doesn't rotate within yourselves. Like, you need to keep your money within yourselves for as long as possible. But if your money is immediately leaving the country, you make some income, it leaves the country, then you never become rich as a country. So many Kenyans who live outside Kenya are actually very loyal to Kenya, which is, rather surprising. And they send vast amounts of money to Kenya. Every year, the Kenyan diaspora sends huge amounts of money to Kenya. The Somali diaspora sends huge amounts of money to Kenya. Vast sums of money to Kenya. Yet somehow, the country remains poor. So what is happening to all this money? All the billions they send every single year? Well, I'll tell you what happens to that money. When the Kenyans receive that money in Kenya, they immediately hand it over to the Chinese. They buy Chinese junk. They don't even hold that money for more than 30 days. No. The money comes in and leaves the economy immediately. So you send money to your relatives in Kenya to support them economically. What do? They run out and buy used clothing from abroad. And a lot of that used clothing is from America and England. So if you're living in America or England and you send money to Kenya to help your people, they immediately buy used clothes from America and England. And the money goes straight back to America within 30 days. And they remain poor. Immediately. The money never stays in Kenya. So it never accumulates. You need to accumulate. You know, the way when you build a dam, you're building a dam to accumulate the water, to prevent the water from leaving. You need policies that dam up the money coming into the country. It should be easy to bring in money, but almost impossible to take out that money. So the import regime needs to be changed. But we all know it will not get changed. And so the poverty will continue. So to all these people who are peddlers and hawkers, the best thing you can do for yourselves, because there's millions of you, is to change your purchasing choices. Next time you want to buy a shoe, don't buy a Chinese-made shoe. Don't buy a used shoe from England or America. Just go and buy a shoe that is being made by your local shoemaker. If you're buying a dress or clothes, buy from the local tailor. That's the best thing you can do to get yourselves out of this economy of endless poverty. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Kenya's time has come. Our time has come. Your time has come. A time to succeed and not fail. A time to grow wealth and not poverty. A time to go up and not down. It's time for you to stop walking and drive your car. Stop renting and buy yourself a house. It's your time to get blessed. Join the CCV movement and together let us kick poverty and unemployment out of Kenya. Become a member today. Donate what you can. And remember that the CCV is the only political organization in Kenya that is squarely built upon Christian values, unlike the rest. We'll see you next time. Thank you.